All right, everyone, we should be live. Let's make sure that's actually the case over on Rumble, of course. Unpause and repause. Because if you don't do that, sometimes it bleeds through a little bit. I don't really want to see my ugly mug in triplicate. You know what I'm saying? China exhibiting end of regime conduct, expert warns. This is both good and bad, so we're going to get into a fairly detailed analysis of that. Judge threatens to close court after FBI arrest of Milwaukee judge. Yes, this is a very, very strange one. Obviously, the Monica Isham case was going to be something that I was covering. There's a lot more to cover, too, by the way. Biden's blueprint to target parents and traditional Catholics. Yeah, this was declassed, actually, by Tulsi Gabbard. It turns out there was a fairly coordinated and obvious effort to suppress people's free speech and expression. Not that it surprises me. Mom sues Missouri school that suspended 13-year-old son for making rifle out of Dr. Pepper cans. Of course, it's not an actual rifle. That's going to be a legal problem, I have a feeling. Two cities stopped adding fluoride to water. Science reveals what happened. They're talking about like rates of dentition and shit like that. And it's like, well, you could teach your kids how to brush their teeth properly. And little kids, if they get cavities and stuff, well, those teeth aren't going to last very long anyway. They get removed by the adult teeth that come out. And then the tooth fairy comes and they get a few dollars. These days, you got to give them a 20 spot probably, because of Bidenflation. So we'll be talking about all of that and more. It's going to be a fun day. Yeah, I didn't get to it yesterday. I thought that I had some legal proceedings that I had to attend to, but haha, as usual, they were punted ahead. Very, very strange times that we're living in at the moment. Let's see. Yeah, Mongoose Dog, because of Trump tariffs. Yeah, supposedly the tariffs are causing economic problems, but they were already there before Trump took office, so. Actually, the price of gas and so forth has gone down considerably. It's interesting, I have noticed, I'm assuming this is TDS related more than anything else. A lot of people are blaming Donald Trump for the economic conditions. They're not realizing that he's only been in office for 3 months. So really, his economic policy, because of the lackluster condition of the Congressional Republican Party, has not really been forwarded generally. He's ruling effectively by executive order at the moment, more than anything else. But they'll still blame him. It's like they all of a sudden, you remember this was about a month ago. They were rambling about the price of eggs, for example. That was big in the news. Egg prices have skyrocketed, and they peaked around that time. All of a sudden, it was a big problem. It was never talked about before. All of a sudden, the Krasensteins and all these other assholes start talking about the egg prices. Well, then they started to drop considerably. Those have dropped as well, generally speaking. All of a sudden, yeah, it's no longer newsworthy now, is it? There was a spike after Trump. Yes, a belated one as a result of Bidenomics before Trump could initiate any sort of economic policy. I mean, unfortunately, we have to deal with the congressional Republicans. The Republican Party is a mess too. It's not just the Democrats right now. Yeah. So we'll be talking about all this. Now, first on to China. This is from a Gordon Chang, actually. China is exhibiting end-of-regime conduct. Expert warns of perplexing behavior. I agree with the basic analysis here. By the way, links in the description to all the articles that I'm referring to. China is indeed doing so. What's happening is that China has begun to destabilize. This is both good and bad. And people need to understand this. A lot of people are like, they call it xenophobia, but really it's more aversion to communism more than anything else. And then there are people that are like East blockers, like tankies and shit, that really, really like China. Here's my more nuanced analysis. China falling by the wayside, like if their economy collapses. is good in the sense that it will weaken their capability of colonializing other countries, East Africa, parts of Eurasia and so forth, and bullying others. That's good. That's the good news. The bad news is that if China falls, it's going to drag much of the world's economy down with it. It will be quite a decline because China is the second largest economy in the world. It'd be like if Babylon fell. If DC falls, the United States falls into a Great Depression. What does that do to other countries? Without the United States purchasing certain key goods from other countries, in many cases from literal banana republics, it's going to be a real hard time for them because they'll have nobody to sell to. It causes a death spiral of sorts, and then it has to recorrect. It can take years. We saw this with the Great Depression. We saw this to an extent with the Great Recession, actually, as well. It would destabilize things. It'd be really a big problem. So I don't really want China to collapse. What I would like, in a perfect world, China would simply become less authoritarian. But it is exhibiting the symptoms of an empire that is about to fall, so to speak. People often say, well, the American empire is on its last leg. And I try to reason with them, and I say the United States wasn't an empire until arguably at least the 1920s, possibly into the early atomic era. So we've still got over a century to go under either condition. China, meanwhile, is older. China has more instability issues. They just cover it up more ably. In the United States, you can talk freely about the problems that are going on in your country. You can't do that in China. They're constantly censoring people. So yeah, it's a big problem. My dad and mom are arguing, I believe, over the Greek pasta that he has made at the moment, by the way. So I apologize for the background noise. Copium poppies. Trump should just use the indefinite detention provision of the NDAA to purge the Uniparty. Uniparty of control of Congress, the courts, and other institutions is a national security threat. He'd be removed from office, though, if he tried to do so. That's the problem. Legal? Yes. Would it be recognized as legal by Congress? Probably not. Ruron, Sticks, why do you think Rand Paul would claim that he has the votes to block President Trump's tariffs? We need President Trump to succeed. See, here's the problem. I support Rand Paul in general, and I understand his ideology and generally agree with it. But some people have not gotten the memo. If other countries are tariffing us, and we're not responding with retaliatory tariffs in order to back them down, that's a problem. It's not like I want tariffs to continue for an exceeding period of time. I don't. I believe in complete free trade. But if we don't have free trade, if it's already dead because other countries are saying, well, we're going to put a 20% tariff on your lentil beans or whatever, anything under the sun, automotive, technological, medical equipment, food, whatever it happens to be, then we're just being stupid by not retaliating. The whole point is to back them down into lowering or removing their tariffs. The whole point is not to continue with the tariffs that we've got. It's to back the other countries down. Cam 2425IA. Disagree with Taiwan nukes idea. Hawaii, Alaska, close enough. I see World War III, Bay of Pigs 2.0. It would mess with trade war as well. I'm totally good with airdropping guns and ammo, though. All they can handle. Yeah, the United States arms manufacturers could make money hand over fist by helping defend other countries by establishing a militia system and then arming people. We have the ability. Copium poppies, how? Those who have power to remove him would be in Gitmo before they had a chance to vote. That would cause a constitutional crisis that SCOTUS would get directly involved in. The judiciary would lash out at Trump, absolutely. I see King of Biltong is there. That means it's Bovrite time. He always says, too salty, when I do this. I'm more like delicious. I've only got a little bit left in that one. Spread some on some toast, actually. It's delicious. Ruron. was just banned by another so-called MAGA content creator here for asking that same question, and was called anti-Trump for asking that. Three-time Trump Trump voter, and also supporter of Ron Paul. Yeah, I like Ron Paul a lot. Voted for him, actually, in the election that time. And I like Rand. I like the cut of his jib. It's just sometimes I happen to disagree with him. I, too, want free trade. I don't like tariffs. But if other countries are going to levy them, we might as well levy our own on them, and then hopefully we have negotiations. And then we can get rid of the tariffs. It's about marginal improvement. You probably won't get most of these countries to completely remove the tariffs, but you can get them to reduce them. Well, that's an improvement. It improves our economic situation. Copium poppies, they are part of the Uniparty. It'd be in Gitmo too. Gotta reboot the entire government. While I agree with you, there's no methodology by which you can do that, unfortunately. Not unless you had military law. And that comes with its own fucking problems. Bristolium. BitChute is also going to be turned off for the UK. Passed by the Tories, enacted by Labour. Oh, BitChute's going to be blocked in the UK? Well, it's a good thing that they've moved to the United States, I suppose. So yeah, China is they're having destabilization issues. It's quite clear. If you look at their economy, if you look at some of the messaging from their political class, it doesn't seem that they're doing as well. China likes to project strength, and if you're a leader in East Asia, you have to do that. Otherwise, you get killed usually, or you get put in jail. We've seen this a number of times. But in China's case, it doesn't appear that they're going to be able to keep up the illusion much longer. And I've been saying for the last decade, China is effectively a paper tiger. That is, that you project great strength, but ultimately there's not a whole lot backing it. I think India is the rising power within Asia. By the way, we've got skirmishes between India and Pakistan right at the moment. Apparently, the Pakistani defense minister came out the other day and said that there was an imminent attack from India. So I'm keeping an eye on that particular story. I have a feeling things are going to blow up over there. And possibly, literally, both of them have atomic weapons. Copium. Just call all the Uniparty terrorists and use the indefinite detention provision. Trump already has the authority to remove these pricks. Yeah, but because of these, imagine what would happen. Let's say that Trump calls up the U.S. Marines and says, hey, I'm using the NDAA. I need all of these people in Gitmo. What would happen? Enormous riots all over the United States. Untold millions probably dead. It would destabilize the country entirely. So it's impossible for us to do that. Basically, you would be waging another revolution at that point. Judge threatens to close court after FBI arrest of Milwaukee judge. Judge Monica Isham of Sawyer County made the stunning claim in an email sent to all state judges on Saturday, Wisconsin Right Now reported. Isham claims she no longer feels protected or respected as a judge after the arrest of Dugan. This is pertinent to the Eduardo case there, and will refuse to hold court without new guidance or support. I no longer feel protected or respected as a judge in this administration. If there is no guidance for us and no support for us, I will refuse to hold court in Branch 2 in Sawyer County. I will not put myself or my staff, who may feel compelled to help me or my community, in harm's way, she wrote. Which makes absolutely no sense. Let me make this clear. This judge, grandstanding as she is basically saying that she wants to shut down her court because she feels threatened by the fact that another judge was rightfully arrested for attempting to smuggle a fugitive. That's exactly what Hannah Dugan did. And we have plenty of evidence. Now, there are certain times when somebody is claimed to have committed a crime, and it's like, well, the evidence, maybe it's real, maybe it's not, we're not 100% sure. And in all of those cases, I believe that somebody, by the way, should be found not guilty. But then there are cases where you've got them dead to rights. Okay, I've got video of you shooting this cop. I've got video of you kicking this dog's head in. I've got video of you, raping your neighbor or something like that. In such cases, as with this case, we have undeniable evidence that she was observed by multiple people at the time, ICE agents, DEA agents, by the way, Eduardo's own goddamn lawyer, shuttling him out and trying to help him, go free. But he's a fugitive. He didn't just be in this country illegally. If that were the case, if it were just, hey, he didn't pay his traffic tickets or something, I would say, who gives a fuck? Go ahead and shuttle him out, and DEA shouldn't even bother. But he was alleged to have committed a number of, considerable crimes. Well, in that case, it makes sense to get rid of the judge and to put her on trial because she decided, you know what I'm going to do today? This dude's in here, illegal immigrant, multiple violent crimes, including I can't remember exactly what the allegations were, but some of them were violent crimes. So we're not talking about parking tickets. And she decides to try to help him get released. Now this other judge, this idiot, is briefcase blues. I want to see the officer's body cam when the judge was screaming at them. That would be fucking hilarious. This judge is saying that because this other judge is now going to be on trial for a significant crime, by the way, and will not be practicing law anymore, I assure you of that one, that she's not going to hold court at all. Well, I need to be given more guidance. So here's the guidance. It's very simple. Don't smuggle illegal aliens out of the courtroom when you know that the DEA and ICE are there. It's not necessary. It's also, by the way, not your role. Your role is to adjudicate the current proceedings. Nothing more and nothing less. For you to act as judge, jury, and executioner in that particular case is absolutely unbecoming of a person wearing that black robe. Ta-da! It's as simple as that. Mongoose, are you reading the transcript from a video you did? No, whenever I do videos or live takes, I never read notes. I will read from news articles sometimes, but everything else is spur of the moment. Because I tried one time, many, many years ago, I tried to script my videos or to have like pointers off to the side on a notepad file. And I figured, well, maybe this will help my flow. What I found is that it made me sound more jolting, and it didn't really work for me. I just like to talk out of my ass, so to speak. I can't really do scripts and things like that. It makes it harder to speak, actually, which is odd. Because like a lot of people, they can't really speak in this manner. They can't really do it off the cuff. I can't speak from a script. And there's another reason why I wouldn't enter politics, I suppose. They'd be, oh, here's your script writer's, transcript, and it'd be like, I can't really follow along with that, so I'm just gonna wing it. Apache, at what point do we buy Tim Pool a drink and say we're in a civil war? That's pretty funny. I don't know if he drinks at all, actually, come to think of it. I'm not 100% sure. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I think he smokes weed, but I'm not sure about that either. Yeah, Tim Pool is a cool dude. I don't like it when people have like a big ass problem with him. Like you can criticize a person. And I don't understand like if some people have some sort of unbridled hate for him, and it doesn't really make sense to me. The same is true with Jeremy. Like there are some people who are like they are relentless in criticizing him all of the time. I'm like, I think that he's a cool dude. He helps me out real big. By the way, I wanted to show you something. Guess what this is? It's from the Special Olympics. I've had this since high school. Now, I was a volunteer, actually. We were doing unified bowling. And so some of us, we volunteered to take some of the kids out and bowling, basically. And it was fun, let me tell you. Although I will say the reason why I've got a bronze medal in the Special Olympics is mostly my fault because I dragged the team down because I shit at bowling. I am terrible at bowling, let me tell you. Yeah, you do not want me on your league. Not unless the only reason for your league is to go and eat cheap pizza or something like that. We're just having a good time. You don't want me on your competitive league. You're going to lose a lot of money on that one. I am no good at bowling. I'm no good at most sports, admittedly. Although I'm extremely good at volleyball. Anyways, let's get to our sponsors really quickly before we continue. First, we have cultivated-mind.com. They've got a new product coming out. Doggy Dose. It's made with 6 kind of bioactivated mushrooms, actually. Which ones do they have? The ingredients: coconut flour, pasture-raised eggs, pumpkin puree, bone broth, coconut glycerin, wild Alaskan salmon oil, and dog will probably like that, beef liver, and turmeric. Enhanced by, what's the mushrooms that are in it? Dad's yelling about toilet paper. I'm sorry. Sometimes my dad can be hilarious. It's got lion's mane, shaga, turkey tail, reishi, maitake, and shiitake. And from what I understand, it's meant to calm your dog down as well as promote, gastrointestinal health and so forth. Benefits: healthy skin and coat, optimal digestion, probiotic, joint support, immune system balance, cognitive function, calming, and longevity. You can also just get their mushroom pills. Those are for you, though, not for your dog. I don't know. Maybe I'll eat one of these. I'll see what happens. I'll be the prototypical analysis for the doggy dose, I suppose. Woof woof. We've also got BiltongUSA.com. King of Biltong's over there in the Rumble chat. And well, he should, because he needs to feed me more of that delicious bovrite, as well as Biltong. Sells all sorts of meats. There's I think 20 different varieties available. Might be more than that. I'm not 100% sure. Got all sorts of great stuff available. By the way, use code STICKS on all of these sites, and you can get discounts usually. And finally, jamandbean.com. That is JAMNbean.com, where you can get Clank Blend coffee, which smells amazing. Had some earlier, actually, and I don't regret it. They also have teas available as well, and they're always coming out with new stuff as well. So I love my sponsors because I don't promote anything that I don't use myself. I love coffee and tea. I love Biltong and Bovrite, let me tell you. And the cultivated mind pills, I've started taking 2 of them in the morning actually now. That's why I'm more high energy at the moment. Yeah, we got King of Biltong over there. That's what I'm talking about. Based Acid Fox. These people are forgetting the soap. Styx has soap. Yes, that is on Pumpkin Fire Crafts, but we couldn't reach an agreement, at least at the moment, on payment, and so I'm not proactively promoting the material, although they still have it, and it's perfectly fine. It does not matter. It's just I'm not going to give them an active promotion. Tigers Are My Totem sent $10. Thank you very much. Briefcase Blues. I don't want to smell like Styx. Lol. Right now I smell like cologne from the 1980s, actually. Biden's blueprint to target parents and traditional Catholics. Yes, this was released by Tulsi Gabbard a couple of days ago. Apparently, internal memos show that the Biden FBI and the Justice Department was directly involved with trying to monitor people for completely non-criminal behavior. Effectively, this is like the Ministry of Truth moment. The Biden administration was looking into people for things that they said publicly or privately, even though they were not criminal in nature. So it's basically like, hey, you're known to us. Now it's very, very interesting. So let's say that you're a traditional Catholic, very orthodox in nature, and you have traditionalistic views or something like that. You end up on the government watch list. They're monitoring you. They're going to listen into your phone calls and look at your emails and shit. Perfectly fine. But if you are literally engaged in planning terroristic activity, how many times have we seen that somebody blows up a parade or burns out cars or goes on a shooting spree or something, and then we find out they were known to the FBI? So those aren't the priority. The priority is people with traditionalistic views. Well, that's rather concerning because ultimately, which would I rather have as a next door neighbor? The dude who keeps taking glass bottles and filling them with kerosene and stuffing oil rags in the top? Or somebody who, only eats fish on Lent? I think I'm probably going to choose the latter. I mean, the former would probably be funnier conversation, but then your house might get burned down. The fact is that the government, for a long time, has ignored legitimate threats to the country and legitimate threats to other innocent lives, while fixating single-mindedly on certain groups of people based on their socio-political beliefs. So again, traditional Catholics, people who are simply religious in general, people who are more conservative in their views. The Biden administration fucking hated people who were conservative in their views. Which is funny because Joe Biden himself, ultimately on a moral scale, is actually a conservative, simply pretending to be left-leaning. I have a feeling that that was to go after political enemies more than anything else. People who might stand in his way. And of course, he wasn't really calling the shots. We can't really blame Joe Biden for that one because, he was so out to lunch. I don't even think that he was able to sign his own signature at times. Yeah, it was considered a great thing. You remember that one time that the legacy media said, look, he signed his name on that piece of paper, and he did it in front of the camera so we can prove that he's capable of doing so. This was considered a major moment. Very, very strange. Very strange times, overall. Yeah, just a sec here. Sparky, greetings, fearless leader. Anton's Biltong rules. Agreed. Taco Woman Sandy Ravage. I'm so excited to see the reunited Acid Bath tomorrow night at the Fillmore in NOLA. Been listening to them since the late 90s. Never thought I would ever see them live, especially with Dax Riggs. Nice. Jenny Simon. I might have already have just gotten pregnant. The pendulum said it would happen this month. The cards have been telling me for a year, which made no sense when I was dying a month ago prior to tooth removal. Goodness. Lord George, is your back still broken from rolling that one hill down while wasted? Never had that happen, actually. Copium Poppies, okay. What if Trump were to wait until the left are already rioting, and we all know they will find a reason to do as usual? Then he could blame the Uniparty for the riots to get the support to reboot. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he would have support from a lot of people, but then there would be a lot of people that would also be hugely averse to it. So that could become a problem. Oh, I hate this story. Mom sues Missouri school that suspended 13-year-old son for making rifle out of Dr. Pepper cans. By the way, if you take any of the links in the description, this one is both the funniest and the most moronic. The superintendent for the school district said their lawyers will present their side of the story and defend against these allegations in the lawsuit. By the way, there is a picture of this Dr. Pepper gun. It is a bunch of Dr. Pepper cans that are topically linked together in kind of sort of a formation that's resembling like an AR-15 or something like that. Instead of using common sense, our own school district treated my child like a criminal for arranging empty soda cans in a way they didn't like. What happened to his First Amendment rights? I wouldn't say this is the First Amendment. I would say this is just the school district's fucking retarded more than anything else. WG posted a photo of the Dr. Pepper cans on Snapchat. You can see that in that link, by the way, with audio titled AK-47, which had a musical beat with a voiceover saying, "This is the famous AK-47. With over 50 million manufactured in 10 countries, the AK-47 is the most popular assault rifle in the world." After the post, which was made off school grounds, we must add, WG's belongings were searched on September 16th, and he was subsequently suspended by the Mountain View Birch Tree R3 school district for 3 days. Grundon met with the superintendent and principal on September 17th. The school allegedly made a permanent note on his school record that he had taken part in cyberbullying. How? It wasn't on school grounds, so the school should butt out of it. Anything that doesn't happen on school grounds or on school time, fuck yourself. It is literally Dr. Pepper cans. It's not a gun. It's Dr. Pepper cans. By the way, congrats to this kid. I hope that you were the one that actually drank the Dr. Pepper, because Dr. Pepper is the only soda that is any good. So he has good taste as well. If these were Coca-Cola cans, I'd say throw the book at him. I'm just joking, but Dr. Pepper is where it's at. In fact, I got one in the other room right now, and I'm very, very glad that I do. I drink the Dr. Pepper sugar-free version, which will probably give me cancer, but it tastes good anyway, so I don't give a fuck. So at least the kid has good taste. This is not a gun. It's cans of Dr. Pepper. That's like saying, let's say that he threw an empty Dr. Pepper can across the hallway and said, "hand grenade," or something like that. Is he going to get suspended for that? It's not a weapon. It's a goddamn can of Dr. Pepper. I don't understand it. I mean, school districts have done this for a while. There was that one time some kid, like, took a piece of toast and took a bite out of it and was, like, holding it like it was a handgun or something, and he got suspended. And, like, it's ridiculous. It's completely stupid. By the way, these are kids. They're gonna do weird shit anyway. There's nothing that you can do about it. And if you think that there's no rebellion in schools left or something like that, boy oh boy do I have a goddamn bridge to sell you. If anything, Gen Z and Gen Alpha are shaping up to be more crazy than the millennials. I mean, god damn it. It's Dr. Pepper cans, dude. Yeah, Dr. Pepper is where it's at, though. So I congratulate this family for having good taste in the right kind of soda. Again, you should try the zero version. It actually tastes exactly the same. There's literally no flavor profile distance. Still got the phosphoric acid and so forth. That's why they call it pepper. Really good, actually. I'm glad they developed it. Drink some actually after the live stream in celebration of this kid's bravery for making a gun out of Dr. Pepper cans. You gotta be kidding me, dude. Don't you have legitimate things to worry about? If a kid gets beaten up repeatedly and bullied in school, the school doesn't do anything. But if somebody arranges a bunch of Dr. Pepper cans off campus, by the way, into something roughly resembling an assault rifle, all of a sudden they're a danger to society. Yeah, tell me how on earth this makes any goddamn sense at all. The dashing rogue. It's a fire hose, Mom. It's not a gun. Sir Thomas Drake. There was a story from 2006 or 7 about a deaf kid named Hunter. And the school changed his sign language for his own name, which was a finger gun literally for the word hunter. Huh. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Schools are full of shit. Everyone, every young person should rebel in school. They're there to constrain you. Sparky, fun fact, Dr. Pepper predates Coca-Cola. I didn't know that. Oh, that is a fun fact. Copium Poppies, fact, Coke Zero is better than Mexican glass bottle Coke. Taste tested the other day, and Mexican glass bottle Coke tastes watered down compared to American and has a soapy aftertaste. Yeah, see, I don't really drink soda. Once in a great while, I'll have the Dr. Pepper, the sugar-free version. But that's really the only soda that I ever drink, and that's only once in a great while. Like if I'm really, really thirsty and there's nothing else available, I mean, I'll drink anything, but Pepsi, Coca-Cola, whatever. My dad is addicted to cherry Pepsi, by the way. I don't understand it. He swills it constantly. And I'm like, when I was 12 years old, that was good with a pizza or something like that. Good times, by the way. But, oh, by the way, liter of cola. Some of you will get the reference. But, no, I don't really drink soda. I don't like sugary foods. I just don't like things that are sugary. Based acid fox. I hated school and tried to derail class every day. Funny fucking goddamn story, which a few of you, I believe, are aware of. There was this one English teacher I had in high school. She no longer works there, but I won't use her surname anyway, because I believe she's still alive. And she was easily derailed from doing any sort of actual work. And I realized this on the literal first day because I said something about politics, and like half of the class was spent discussing that. And I realized after a few days doing it again that she simply really, really liked to ramble about, whatever under the sun. And so I could save the class from having to do any work by doing this. And I had an acquaintance there. He was a cool kid. I can't remember his name though. And I was like, watch this. And so I got her onto the subject of politics again. And it derailed it for the entire class. She spent the entire class rambling about political stuff and holding a discussion, a discourse about that. And so we didn't even have to do our test that day. And I did this constantly, and it was great. Let me tell you, I'm pretty good at that. It was fun. Yeah, she a great teacher, by the way. There was one time though that she never got angry as far as I know in the class that I was in, because people are being respectful and stuff. She never got angry at me. She liked me because I always got straight A's. But there was this one time we had a fire drill, and this one kid who looked kind of like a skinhead or something, he started moving in the other direction instead of going out of the building because it's a fucking fire drill. He was going the opposite direction. The alarm stops, and she marches down with the angriest goddamn look on her face. And she's like, I have a student who is doing nothing. You have done nothing. and she just starts going off on him. And Jesus, I wouldn't want to encounter her angry. Cultivated Mind. Sticks. The doggy dose was designed to replace the missing nutrition from all poor dog food at the grocery store. Your dog should live longer than 12 years. Cultivated-mind.com. Yeah, I mean, doggy dose. Let me smell it, actually. What does it smell? Maybe I'll try one out. I'm not actually going to eat dog meat. It does smell pretty good. Yeah, that's definitely something that a dog would like. I have a feeling these will be very popular. Give him one of these and then give him some biltong and set him up straight. Just don't give them any of the coffee from Jam and Bean because that might kill them. I don't think dogs can have caffeine. I know they can't have anything with bromide in them. So like dark chocolate. Some people give chocolate to their dogs. I'm like, that's a terrible idea. John Lincoln, hey, why do you think there is a delay with Epstein? Investigation. If they release all of the material now, they will prejudice potentially a jury in any proceedings that they can actually proceed with. They need to do a full and thorough investigation. This is the kind of case that can take years. Honestly, there's literally nothing they can do to speed it up. It's not even physically possible. Unless you want all of these people to escape. Hey, you can shame them in public, but they don't get in any trouble for it. Yeah. 2 cities stopped adding fluoride to water. Science reveals what happened. Ooh, spooky. Yeah, apparently Calgary in Canada and Juneau in Alaska have ended fluoridation, and there is a minimal increase with regards to dental problems. Probably a minimal increase in overall IQ, by the way. Now, this is from Science News. So they take up the tack of this is terrible, conspiracy theorists, and stuff like that. Here's my thoughts. Your child is probably already brushing with a fluoride toothpaste, although they should also add charcoal to it because it's very effective. They're probably getting the fluoride trays at the dentist. Why do you need to involuntarily subject people to drinking fluoride, therefore? What exactly is the point? I had fluorosis of the teeth when I was a child. When I had my baby teeth, the front teeth had fluorosis on them. Of course, then they fall out, and so they were replaced by these ugly ones. But I had fluorosis on my teeth. That's because the water supply was fluoridated, and I was using a fluoride toothpaste, and I was getting the fluoride trays when I went to the dentist, which shouldn't be happening. You do not need that much fluoride. It's not necessary. It can mess with your bones, and I like how they call it a conspiracy theory. They're like, well, conspiracy theorists say that it will cause bone cancer. That's not what anyone's saying. They're saying that it can weaken your bones, and it quite literally can. This is medically established. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is objective, observable reality. Sort of like it's objective, observable reality that that judge tried to squirrel that illegal immigrant slash convict out through the side door, out through the jury entrance. It's observable. We can see it. We know that fluorosis exists. We know that bone problems exist as a result of fluoride. I am not anti-fluoridation. I'm anti-involuntary fluoridation. Just use a fluoridated toothpaste. That should be enough. And if you're worried about your kids getting cavities or something like that, well then teach them how to fucking brush their teeth. That's all you need to do. Brush your teeth, floss, don't drink battery acid. That would probably be bad for them. That's all you have to do. Fluoride does not need to be pumped into the water supply. Now, chlorination in the water supply, I do actually support. This may surprise some of you. A small amount of chlorination to destroy bacteria because of the poorly tended water lines in the country, that makes a little bit more sense, and that's perfectly safe. But fluoridation is not necessary. It's just an added cost to the water system that doesn't need to exist at all. Adonis Adams, what can we, as clankers, do to help push back against commie China economically? I don't like how they're gaining soft power while Western media drowns in woke slop. Don't buy any products made in China when you can help it. Just boycott China. We're capable of it. And crush their economy. Dr. Can blog. On the topic of China, lack of talk... Oh, the mail's here. Here, it's in Puppet Canada and its election. Yeah, Canada's election didn't exactly go the way that a lot of people wanted it to go. Let's put it that way. But then again, the so-called conservatives in Canada aren't really conservative anyway, so it really makes no difference. I like how they're blaming Trump for it. Trump and his talk of tariffs, oh my god, that's what caused the liberals to win in Canada. They're gonna win anyway, dude. And based acid fox. I get my BDSM outfits from China. Sparky! Dad had 2 different recipes for Coca-Cola in his safety deposit box from back when they licensed the recipe. Rather than supplying the syrup, my brother unknowingly threw them away after Dad passed. That's really fucking sad to hear, and my apologies. Did he work for the Coca-Cola company or something? God damn. Robert, add low-dose lithium to municipal water. I'm fine with regards to whatever they do with the water supply because we've got a private well. I am very happy about this. Our water here is crystal clear and pure. There is nothing in it. Although I think that well, I mean, it got repaired, but I think it's one of the older style wells, so it's not as deep as modern wells tend to be. So it might need to be replaced at some point. I mean, you can always use like a Dasani filter or something like that. I don't know if it removes fluoride, though. I'm not 100% sure. Greg McNeely, drink a large glass of water after every Dr. Pepper dissipates the sugar. Well, I drink the sugar-free version, but yes, that is a recommendation. If you drink like Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, whatever, to swill some water around afterwards, and it takes the acids and the sugars away from your teeth generally. Honestly, though, I would just rather not drink soda at all. I'm more of a fan of fruit juice or V8. Technically, tomato is a fruit, so it still counts. Sigil is there. Good morning, Clankers. Good morning, Oob. Good morning, Anton. Good morning, Mind. Yeah, all of the whole gang is here. Heaven shall burn where we gather. Fire down below. Scale of 1 to 10. What do you give Trump's first 100 days? I'll give him I'll give him a 7 out of 10. The effort is definitely there. It's much more successful so far than his first term has been. But he's being hampered by the judiciary, and he's getting distracted by side issues. I support him on tariffs and immigration and things like that. But then sometimes he says zany shit. I mean, that's just the way that Trump is, so I'm not going to give him too much flack for that. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Ross M. Dandelion and Burdock is my favorite soda. Don't know if it exists outside of the UK. I need to try this. If somebody can get some to me, I would definitely try that. I like burdock, I know that. I've had burdock soup, actually, from Japan. My friend JD over in Japan, who teaches English there, he sends me in fact, I've got a package on the way right now. He sends me like all sorts of weird stuff. I'm hoping that there's some burdock in the instant soups that he's sending me. A lot of Japanese food, a lot of it is like instant soups and stuff like that. Like unless you go to a restaurant. And it's really, really great. Let me tell you, it's one of the best things I ever ate, actually. Sparky, I looked at those recipes in the 1990s. They were handwritten and each had a different ingredients, presumably to get some outcome in order to hedge against varying ingredient prices and availability.
Carl,
What?
you got a big package from Japan.
Speak of the devil. I'll be right back. Yes, what a red letter day. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, I get to do an unboxing live. King of Biltong, try our various types of peri-peri biltong. Delicious, by the way. Great biltong flavors, some mild heat, almost 50% protein, packed with B12, creatine, iron, zinc, and much more. Go to biltongusa.com, code STICKS for 10% off. BW, is Trump fizzing out? When Trump is gone, will the Republicans be reduced to regional leaderless party? No, I don't believe so. China is exempting some U.S. imports from tariffs. Is this a sign of coming capitulation? I believe that China will negotiate. Sir Thomas Drake, 100 men versus 1 gorilla. Who wins? With 100 people, they would win. Sigil, I hate Trump. Donald Trump killed my wife and fucked my dog. King King of Biltong. Try Carmen's range of functional red teas infused with functional ingredients to help you through your day. Available on BiltongUSA.com. 10% off for Sticks listeners only. Use code STICKS. Yeah, we're gonna be looking at some goofy shit here. Thank you, JD, by the way, if you're watching. Let's see, Sparky. Oh, I just read that one. All right, let's do a little bit of an unboxing of Japanese food. Yeah, straight from Japan. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. You have no idea. You have no idea how happy I am right now. I can actually get the plate in there. There we go. I accidentally cut my foot open the other day. I was leaning down. Oh, yeah. I was leaning down to get into my safe, and I had one of my swords on the floor, but then I backed up into it. And, oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, just a sec. Here, let me... It's basically like Christmas at the moment. Oh, Jesus. Holy shit. Yeah, you see these? These are all sorts of different instant soups. And, let's see. Yeah, I've got a translator on my phone, so I can translate those. But at a glance, you don't always exactly know what they are. I found this. Ooh. Fugu. That is blowfish. Yes, it is actual fugu. It's also delicious. Somehow, the Japanese have taken one of the most dangerous foods in the world and made it into an instant soup. These ones, I think, maitake. Oh, this one's delicious, by the way. Speaking of mushrooms, cultivated mind, maitake soup is also delicious. Oh, I missed these. Oh, thank God, you sent me so many of the shrimp. This one, when you actually put it in hot water, there's an actual shrimp inside of the soup, and you eat it. Oh, you sent me a whole bunch of those. Let's see. Maitake. Is there any of the... or fugu. Is there any of the burdock? I don't know. There are so many I can't even go through them in one live stream. It's a bunch of boxes. These are probably canned goods. Yeah. Just give me a moment here. I'm excited. I'm like a kid on Christmas. This is That's like a... Oh, wow. Shit. That's a lot of soup, my man. I'm gonna be good for a while. I think that one's shrimp. This one is, Oh, yeah, that's the burdock. Yeah, he sent me burdock soup, too. And more mushroom. Yeah, there are several different companies, I guess, that make soup. Purple is fugu. Believe it or not. Can you tell that I'm happy? Yeah, let's see. What's in here? Check the contents before I show anyone anything. Oh, shit. There's... Holy goddamn fuck. Well, I guess I'm eating soup for the next 100 days or so. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that's the burdock. I think the burdock might be my favorite. More soups. 10,000 pounds of soup. What's this? Got a note attached. Oh, this is like a seafood mix of some sort. It looks like it's scallops or something. Nice. Yeah, this is now an unboxing live stream. And ooh, these are really, really good, by the way. These little gelatin melon things. Somehow they puree and gelatinize cantaloupe or other melons and fruits, and It's delicious. And it tastes fresh, just like out of the garden. It's amazing, actually. Oh, there's two of them. Yeah, baby. What's this? I have no clue what that one is. I don't know. Some sort of tinned meat, I'm assuming. This one is, oh, that's another veggie mix. I mean, ooh. Huh. Some sort of meat mix. I'll have to run the translator on that one. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Sometimes it's difficult because a lot of things are also in English. Chow Tai brand coconut cream powder. Yeah. I like that. What's this? Oh god, Quincy's gonna be very, very happy. Shredded dried fish. By the way, which is delicious. But the cat will, if I pull it open, the cat will immediately be there. Quincy is obsessed with it. I have to cut him off, like a drunk at a bar or something like that. Let's see. Welcome, Chris. Oh, that's another shredded fish. Oh shit, there's another melon thing there. What's this? Sea urchin salt. Good for potatoes. What? Oh, I'm like a kid in a candy store at the moment. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Apparently this is salt with sea urchin in it. God damn, you Japanese people are incredible. Thank you so much for existing. There's still two more sub boxes in here. I think they've got soup in them, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, this one's... Yeah, this one's soup too. Those are, yeah, these are more like the ramen style soups. So that's a bunch. Oh, Jamie, you're spoiling me. You're gonna get me... Somehow I'm gonna get fat on instant soups. These ones... Oh, that's a different brand. There's minestrone. I can tell what that is. And miso. Yeah. So yeah, there's still... Wait, what's this? What are you? Mushroom pickles for rice? I don't even understand. I'm definitely going to use it though. Yeah, I think there's still a few more things in packages of more soup somehow. Oh wait, there's another can down there too. Oh, that's another one of again, I don't know exactly what it is. It's got a picture of a wolf on the front holding leeks, and then there's oh, it's deer meat. Okay. Sounds good to me. Yeah, he sent me seal meat before, bear meat, elk, deer, whale. I've eaten pretty much everything under the sun. So yeah. Sigil, China is now having pro-democracy protests with massive youth unemployment. The last time they had that, nothing happened at Tiananmen Square. Yeah, I've noticed this. I'm glad that you noticed it too. Copium Poppies. We only need 7 YouTube subscribers before we hit triple digits. Make sure to sub on YouTube. Everyone subscribe to the Copium Poppies. King of Biltong. We stream every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern and Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We do some light banter while cooking live. Join in the fun by following our channel. rumble.com/c/eat@Anton's. Inland Surfer. Does the shrimp in your soup come alive like a sea monkey? Sadly, no. By the way, send no more super chats, please, because I've got to... I'm gonna have to sort through this food and get it shelved. I'm gonna be eating a lot of soup. Trust me, I'm not complaining. It's delicious. Sparky, same outcome, not some outcome. It struck me that process is more important than the ingredients. I remember prunes as an ingredient. Weird. The recipes use older measurements I wasn't familiar with, but Dad knew them having his pharmacist education in the 1940s. Although Dad worked at the first drugstore to serve Coca-Cola, Jacob's Pharmacy, he was given the recipes from a retired druggist who had his own store in rural Georgia a generation or two before. Huh. Small world. Dad's boss, Dr. Jacob, an elderly man, apprenticed under Crawford Long, the first person to use anesthesia to perform surgery. Nice. BW, you think approval polls are fake? They're not fake so much as any individual poll is useless because there's always a margin of error. And so if it's close at all, you can end up with somebody who is at 52% approval and it looks like they're at 47% approval and vice versa, stuff like that. That's why I always use RCP as an aggregate for polls. Damn, son, that's it's like infinite soup. What is this? Oh, yeah, these are noodles. You can boil them off and put them in the soup too. And I don't know what this is intriguing to me. My takigon. I'm gonna have to run the translator from my phone because this indicates that it's mushroom pickles for rice. I didn't know you could pickle mushrooms, actually. I was not aware of this. I'm glad I am now, though. I bet it's probably delicious. Literally everything that I've tried. And keep in mind, a lot of this is like the stuff that you would buy, just in the regular grocery store. It's nothing fancy or anything like that. It's delicious. It's gourmet quality. Japan is definitely a food paradise, that's for sure. God damn. I think there might be 100 packets of instant soup in here. I'm gonna eat some fugu in a few minutes. I'll do that on camera, maybe. Sith, you can pickle just about anything. Pickled stuff is good for your gut. I fucking love pickles. I absolutely love pickles. But this is one thing I wanted to say with regards to the Netherlands. The Dutch have learned to pickle pretty much everything. You can get pickled onions, pickled carrots, cucumbers that are pickled, pickled everything. The one thing, though, that I couldn't really find are like the big keg dill pickles. You can only get the little tiny ones in dill. Otherwise, they're all sweet and sour, or they're just sweet pickles. For some reason, I guess the idea of like the big keg pickles never really took off in the Netherlands. I could never find it. I went to the Albert Heijn, to the Jumbo, to Aldi's, and so forth. I could never find them. They just don't exist. Oh, autofocus has a problem. There, you can see my palm. That should be better. BW, have you seen Sinners? It's a little bit BS lefty, but good. No, I haven't even heard of it. I don't really watch TV or movies. Sigil, for guidance, Bondi should send that judge the clip from Liar Liar of Jim Carrey screaming, "Stop breaking the law, asshole." That'd be funny. High taxes, no incentive. Sticks, have you ever had an egg pickled in beet juice? They look like alien eggs. That sounds really good, actually. But no, I haven't tried it. Honestly, right now, I kind of wish I was wandering around Bourbon Street. Because when I dress like this here, people look at me like I'm insane. When I dress like this in New Orleans, everyone calls me Jack Sparrow, John Lafitte, or otherwise compliments me. I had a bunch of people wanting to take selfies and stuff like that. Taking a selfie with the vampire. Oh, it was hilarious. Sith, beets are so awful. Okay, you're now a heretic. You have been demoted on this channel. Pickled beets are one of the most tasty goddamn things in this friggin' planet. In fact, there are beet seeds ready to go out now. I wish that I had like 1,000 beet plants. Mm. Yeah, beets are great. What I want to do is some of them get baked, and then the rest get pickled. I mean, you can just jar them in the regular fashion too, but pickled beets are better. Ooh, but that depends on how you actually prepare them. And I did have pickled eggs, actually. I had pickled quail eggs that were sent by a subscriber. And yeah, let me tell you, they were pretty good. Robert von Darth, the Japanese pickle small Amanita muscaria. I think I'll try that this fall. Ooh, well, I mean, you get high from it. The Happy Plague Doctor. The moment Styx realized everyone is tired of his shtick. Doesn't seem so, since there are almost 2,000 people watching on YouTube alone. So, it's all good. Streaming was never my main source of income or anything like that anyway. Mainly it's the books, actually. But I like streaming. I like being able to talk to people. Back in the day, it was more like, you go to ICQ or something like that. But now, I get to talk to people here. Bobby, you're seeing no, it's 1,800 on YouTube at the moment. And over 300 on Rumble, plus whoever's watching on Twitter. Sigil. What Dugan did is worse than what's being reported. The illegal was being charged with domestic battery. He beat his girlfriend and roommate, not the same person, and Dugan was not the judge on the case. Huh. Interesting. So he beat 2 people up? Huh. Interesting. Fried Piper. ICQ reference. Yeah, I was the one centrally responsible for destroying their online presence, actually. Now ICQ is basically just an app on your phone. They had a website, like an actual like desktop experience. And I got tired of the fact that the mods in Christianity chat especially were discriminating against people for very topical differences of opinion, including some people who were themselves Christian. And they had robbed the room from Tom. He actually was the one that created it, but then they appropriated the room because it became more popular. And so I told him to cut it out, and I got banned. So I realized that if you cycle around with your MAC address on the router, you can bypass their bans very easily. And so I would come in relentlessly and troll them. Eventually, this was not enough for me, and I decided to have even more fun. And so I went on 4chan, back when B was actually okay, and I would post, raid threads over and over with the link, and people would pour in by the dozens, sometimes even the hundreds, and just pound the room. Eventually, they began metastasizing to the rest of the website. And eventually, Mail.ru, that's the company that owns ICQ now, they basically fired the administrators of the site. And there was this one incredible day, one of the best days of my life. All of the site admins and mods were demodded. They no longer had any power. The spam control went down. Everything was complete goddamn chaos. The entire site was flooding nonstop. It was hilarious. I saw some weird shit. I used to have a blog about some of the foibles that I had on ICQ, and I wish that I hadn't taken it down. I wish that I had archived it and then uploaded it to like a separate account or something like that. It's one of my greatest regrets in life, ironically. I took it down because when my YouTube channel started to really grow, I figured, well, somebody's going to target this because there's, content that might not be appropriate on there, and they'll get my account taken down. And I didn't want to risk that, which was a wise decision. But I wish that I had backed it up first, because along with my Minecraft griefing, by the way, videos. Because it was great. It was some of the most fun that I've ever had in my life. I was sitting there, I wrote goddamn songs about this. If you go to the Fat Hawaiian Man channel, I literally have songs singing about trolling ICQ. Yeah, there's a reason for that. It was hilarious. Copium Poppies update. We now only need 4 more subs on YouTube. Everyone subscribe to the Copium Poppies over on YouTube. I think my dad's playing cribbage with my uncle. They do that constantly. CZO, thoughts on 5-year age gap in a relationship, 19 and 24. Perfectly acceptable. That's not creepy. They're both adults, and, it's not a huge gap anyway. Now, if it's like 20 and 15, that would be a little bit weird now, wouldn't it? No, I think that if people are adults, they should do whatever the fuck they want. Why even have like a age of consent, for example, if you're going to completely ignore it for moralistic reasons? Titus Flavius Vespasianus. Whippets, are you 16? You see those all the time in the Netherlands, by the way. You'll see the little canisters that have been discarded from people using it for that purpose. Sigil, mind your own fucking business about me and my glass bottles of kerosene. Taco Woman Sandy Ravage. There's an Atlantic interview with Trump where he is bragging about tilting the Canadian election. Do you see any negotiating advantages for Trump with having Carney as PM and not Pelliver? I don't know. I don't know exactly. I don't know a huge amount about Canadian politics, actually, come to think of it. Because Canada is irrelevant, so. Briefcase Blues. I'm 48. She has to be at least old enough to buy her own drink. Yeah, that's the thing. As long as they're both adults and consenting, I don't care. I don't care if a 70-year-old is dating a 20-year-old. Is it weird? Yeah. Is it any of my business? No. Maybe they genuinely like each other. Maybe she has decided, hey, I'm getting a Porsche out of it, so, that's okay. And he's like, well, I'm getting, laid, so that's okay. Well, it's basically a business transaction. I don't really find it objectionable. Weird? Yeah. Like, would I do that? No. But if somebody else does, it's none of my business. As long as it's consensual and doesn't involve kids or something like that, or animals, preferably. That's all that I ask. It's sort of like with the LGBTQ plus MAP 123 thing. Just leave the kids out of it. As long as it's consenting adults, I don't care how you dress, how you fuck, how many people you fuck. Go ahead. It's none of my business. Bobby Bobbinson. Endless felting by PP. Yeah, that dude is going to die of a heart attack at any time because of his obesity, so I don't really give a fuck. King of Biltong, they say half your age plus 7 is the limit. No, I would disagree. I simply think that if a person is of age, if we're going to have an age of consent, then abide by that. Anything beyond that is unnecessary. Yes, there are people who are older that take advantage. I would point out, however, that there are also people that are younger that take advantage. Oh, here's this very, very wealthy 70-year-old man. I'm sure that that 20-year-old stunner really, really wants his dick. That's the only reason she's getting with him. No, she probably wants a Mercedes-Benz or something like that. That's probably the reason that she's there. This can happen in reverse too. You'll get that what is it? Can't remember his name. That 18-year-old that was, I think he might still be, dating Madonna. I am sure that he got with this 60-year-old lady for some reason other than the fact that, hey, she's got a lot of money. That makes a whole lot of sense. Copium Poppies. One more sub needed and we hit triple digits on YouTube. Everyone subscribe to the Copium Poppies. Spearhand. Puss is nice. Alright. I don't know if you mean puss or puss. Yeah, like I've been with girls that are older and younger. Who cares? There's nothing creepy about it. As long as they're all adults and they're all consenting, everything's fine. John Obama, Barack Obama, puss like the pussy. Oh wow, I've been going for almost an hour 20. Yeah. I guess I'll go a little bit longer, just for a little while. I'm still admiring all of the Japanese food. Boy, oh fucking boy. And my mom is a sucker for those fucking the cantaloupe gelatin things or melon gelatin things. She's probably gonna grab one of those boxes and squirrel it off. Bobby Poppinson, the 18-year-old gas station goths. There's nothing wrong with them. Yeah. One chick in New Orleans was definitely checking me out, let me tell you that much. When you dress like a pirate, a gothic pirate, and you go to New Orleans, you tend to attract quite a bit of attention. Also, you get scammed less, because people think that you're actually from New Orleans. That's my theory. My hypothesis is that they believe that you're from New Orleans and that you're like a street actor or something like that. So they don't think you're a tourist. They believe that you're actually from there. And so they don't attempt to scam you, generally. At least that's my theory. I could be wrong. There is, I think, shit. I can't remember what these are. I think this is soup stock. Yeah. It looks like a roll of condoms or something. These are Japanese condoms. They're garlic scented. Oh man, I'm having a great time. I can't wait to eat all of these. There's that. I think I went through it all, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. Are these the same? Yeah, these are the... Here, I'll show you one. Can't remember these are... Oh, yeah. Easy over. See, these are like it's like a gelatinized melon puree of sorts. It's hard to describe. It's cantaloupe. And it is real fruit. But somehow, they've gelatinized and packaged them. And, see. Yeah. The Japanese have perfected the art of preserving food. Copium Poppies. We have broken 100 subs on Tube of the Ews. There we go. At this point, I'm just having a little bit of fun. I'm just banting. Yeah, that is a lot of fucking food. Yeah, it's got to be 100 soup packets, or close to it. Blue boo boo. Did you ever play Oblivion back in the day? I only ever played Skyrim. No, I have never actually played Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I love Skyrim, though. If it's heavily modded, of course. Yeah, the problem with the original Skyrim is it doesn't, it's not quite modern. You need to modify it fairly heavily. But once it's modded, with better textures and so forth, it's really, really good. Sigil, I got in trouble in elementary school for snorting pixie sticks out of my hand on a dare because drug reference. I remember when that was a thing. Yeah, I remember the pixie sticks thing. Sigil. My mom told me told the superintendent when he cuts it into lines with a credit card and straw, then call me, and stormed out all pissed off. Yeah, I can remember kids would challenge each other to snort pixie sticks back in the day. Which is like, it's kind of fucktarded when you think about it. Snorts it with the straw. Yeah, that was a big thing back in, it's funny because people will talk about like Gen Z is crazy. They do crazy shit. No, come on, dude. Us millennials were doing way crazier shit than Gen Z did. They're prudes compared to us. Hell, people back in the goddamn 1920s were more insane. Snorting pixie sticks and playing chicken and doing all sorts of crazy shit. Back in the 20s, apparently, and this is a weird historical fact, back in the 1920s, apparently one of the things that they would do for amusement was they would climb to the top of flagpoles and they would perch atop the flagpole and see who could be up there the longest. Apparently this was a thing. Also, they were huffing glue and things like that. Back in the millennial days, they were snorting pixie sticks and crazy shit like that. Happens all the time. Oh yeah, King of Biltong, the Tide Pods. I saw a video of somebody, roughly my age, by the way, smoking a Tide Pod on YouTube, actually, years ago. It's like, your lungs might give out. Basically, you're basically engaging in trench warfare at the moment. He literally smoked the goddamn Tide Pod. I've seen videos of people smoking meth on YouTube. You don't really see that sort of crazy stuff anymore, but it used to be there. You'd see all sorts of stuff. Then there was that time that woman was clearly making videos for her boyfriend, but accidentally made them public. Yeah. Oh, double R star. Yes, there's a huge power outage in part of Europe right now. And they're trying to say it's due to a rare atmospheric occurrence. Yeah, I believe that. No, it's probably because much of your grid is now propped up by unreliable energy resources. It's as simple as that. They're trying to cover that fact up. I don't think that it has to do with an atmospheric occurrence now, do you? Atmospheric occurrence, okay, it's a really, really dark day today, so the solar panels aren't generating electricity. That's basically what they're saying. I have no problem with so-called renewable energy, although in some cases it is a scam. For instance, I'd love to have a solar array on the house here, even though Vermont is typically a very dark, dismal state. That would be fine, and eventually it does pay for itself. And it's useful. You can set up a battery system so that you have some power generation even in a power outage. And that's really, really great. It's wonderful. But scaling it to producing energy for millions of people apparently doesn't work quite so well. Take care, King of Biltong. Sigil, I think Rumble's been weird today for me. Yeah, I noticed that earlier actually too. It was kind of glitching a little bit. Sparky, Putin blotted out the sun. That footer's loading. The media keeps saying illegal immigrants aren't getting due process. Do they forget the Constitution and Bill of Rights only apply to U.S. citizens? Oh, they didn't forget, they just ignore it. Human rights apply to people who are illegally in your country, but the Constitution does not. Over easy mode. You should set up a windmill for energy in Vermont. Plenty of wind in those mountains. Yeah, I mean, I've thought of it, but then you've got regulations. Good luck. Titus, Bobby and Derek sounds like a couple of guys who haven't had their shit pushed in. I can help with that. Yeah, no, it's just the normal gang of idiots from other groups of people. Happens all the time. The problem is that certain other commentators apparently have a disliking of me. Well, they'll get theirs. No worries. I know when to bide my time. Plus, maybe they did get their shit shoved in. I don't know. I do not judge them for their homosexuality if that is indeed what they are interested in. The ancient Indian tribes planted 3 sisters, beans, corn, squash. I actually did that last year. It worked fairly well, although the corn, I planted the wrong variety, so it was unimpressive. Didn't get much corn. The squash did really well. The beans, of course, you can plant them in sand and they'll still grow, so. Yeah, I'm going to be clearing out the garden beds actually over the next few days. And I'll put a little bit more compost in, but most of the soil is still really, really good. Like it's nice and it's got a nice tilth to it. The herb bed, God, you should see that. It's as black as coal, and it has the perfect consistency. It is pure terra preta. All I've got to do is add a little bit more wood to the sides of it because some of it rotted down, which is also good for the soil now when you think about it because it adds biomass. Biomass is always a good thing. So I'll be repairing that bed. I'll dig the others out, probably by hand, on my hands and knees, quite literally. And then I was going to make another bed in the corner, but I don't think I'm going to have time to do that, unfortunately. So I'll probably just clear out the beds that are there. And the only expansion that I'll make is conjuncting the 2 smaller beds that are towards the mid-back of the garden. Because there's literally no reason for them not to be conjoined, because it's more efficient. So I'll just conjoin them, and so I'll have 3 decent-sized beds in the back. The patch, which will be for potatoes, another one for corn, beans, and squash. Then there will be the herb bed, of course. And then the long row, which I had cucumbers in last year, of course, I can't plant that again. I'm going to try to border it off with wood and, fertilize it more. And then probably put root crops in it. That'll probably be where the beets are. I don't know. Tom Baldwin, garlic as well. Oh, it's already coming up. I've got probably 100 garlic bulbs out there. Believe it or not, contrary to popular legend, vampires are not repulsed by garlic. In fact, we're enticed by it because it's delicious. I think that Derek and Bobby have a little bit of an issue. I'm perfectly fine. Don't worry about me. Rockout Blackout. Sticks, do you believe in Demeter? Does she bless gardens? My garden is blessed by the goddess Artemis, actually. Yeah, garlic is great. I don't understand. Some people don't really like garlic, and it's like, why? It smells good. It tastes good. Anyways, I'm gonna go offline now because I've gone an hour and 30. Uh, Fireburn Sticks. Where is little Timmy and Jimmy? Right now they're probably being tortured in hell, I guess. If winter's loading, how much longer should Trump work on Russia v. Ukraine? It becomes clear Putin just doesn't want to stop. By the way, please send no more super chats. Should Trump go the sanctions route, or should he just pull away from the issue entirely? Just pull away. Just let him alone. Let him do what the hell they want. Not our problem. Sparky, I had great luck with 3 cistus planting. I used cucumbers as the squash component. So many cucumbers I couldn't keep up with picking them in time. I had that problem too. But yeah, I'm gonna go offline. I'll dig up some more news, but I've got to sort out like 10,000 soup packets and eat some fugu, by the way, because I'm a little bit on the hungry side. Well, Derek, no, I didn't actually flag any of his videos, just to be clear. Um, but, you know, if people want to believe that, that's okay. Bye. That's about all. Peace out.